displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the park's professor. 10th hole. The par and distance are at the top of the screen. This hole is slightly uphill, but really it's more of a side hill hole, with the hillside sloping from left to right. There is a trio of trees directly between the tee and the basket, but there's plenty of room out to the right, and so a good right-to-left throw will get you around the trees and also land into the hillside, so it should set up a good birdie opportunity. The 11th tee is located uphill to the left, across the first fairway and across the park road, so you have to be careful walking to the 11th tee. I do want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the park's professor. We are at Warriors Path State Park. We are in Kingsport, Tennessee, and so we're in the eastern tip of Tennessee. There are two 18-hole courses at this park, and this hole is my least favorite of the 36. It's completely open, pretty flat, and really just nothing more interesting to say about it. The next two holes have two baskets. In each case, we're going to walk to the long basket. And if you play to the long basket, these next two holes are real monsters. This hole starts with some really steep uphill, some of the steepest elevation on either of the two courses at this park. The hole's pretty open, but there is some dense woods off to the right. We're getting ready to walk past a short basket here. If you play the short basket, this hole is pretty mellow, but the long basket, it is really long. In fact, we're only about halfway there now. As I mentioned, there are two 18-hole courses at this park. Right now I'm showing you the Lakefront Course. The other course is a course called the Cliffside Course. It actually starts at a completely different parking lot compared to this course. I walked about both of the courses, and I showed you the Cliffside Course a couple of months ago. There's the 12th basket, and there's the view back of the fairway to the 12th tee. The 13th hole is another super long hole, especially if you play to the long basket. It also has some extreme elevation, first downhill and then uphill. Honestly, I thought the previous hole had to be the longest and most extreme hole on this course, until I got to this hole. And this hole is a real handful. To elaborate a little more on the two courses at this park, there's this course and the Cliffside Course. This course is more open, and it has some more extreme elevation compared to the Cliffside Course. The Cliffside Course has more wooded holes, and in spite of its name, it's also a little bit flatter. That's the short basket for this hole we're walking past. The Cliffside Course has an interesting clifftop river overlook, but it doesn't really have any cliffs on it. And likewise, this course doesn't really get down to the lakefront. The lowest elevation on the course is the ravine that we're walking out of right now. You can see the lake from here, but you never really get to the lake. So in some sense, both of these courses are somewhat misnamed. This is the 13th basket, and according to the official pars on this course, this long basket even is a par 3. It may be the longest and hardest par 3 that I've ever seen. The 14th hole is more normal compared to the two previous holes. It's a dogleg right that goes slightly downhill and also along the side of the hill. There is some dense woods on the inside of the dogleg, so you don't want to try to cut the dogleg, but there is quite a bit of room out to the left, and so there's no real reason to try to cut the dogleg if you just shape your disc flight from left to right. There are two baskets on this hole. We just walked past a short basket, and now we're going to walk back to the long basket. I captured this video on Tuesday, October 31st, and it was a chilly day with temperatures in the upper 40s when I came to this park. There's the view back to the tee. Now we head back into the woods where we're going to stay for the rest of this course. The 15th hole is a short uphill hole, and while it's not the tightest hole on this course, there are plenty of trees around. And we also have some boulders up here that you have to navigate, so you don't want to try to bounce a disc up towards the basket. I like the way this course goes back and forth between open and heavily wooded holes. In my view, that's one of the strengths of the Lakefront Course. The pole on this basket is about twice as long as a standard disc golf basket, and that makes putting more interesting. The 16th hole plays back downhill, and it may be the tightest hole on this course, so in spite of its short length, there is some challenge here. Honestly, holes 14 through 16 are kind of the calm between the storms, and they give you a nice little breather between the super long holes that were holes numbers 12 and 13, and the two finishing holes that we're getting ready to see. There's the 16th basket, and there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. The 17th hole plays across a steep ravine. It starts out super tight up here by the tee, and it's going to open up a little bit when we get down to the bottom of the ravine. There are two baskets on this hole. There's one basket off to the left that you can just barely see off to the left edge of the screen. We're going to walk over to the right basket. Because of the trees, to get to the left basket, you'll need a right-to-left disc flight, while to get to the right basket, you'll need a left-to-right disc flight. Both baskets are perched on the side of the hill, so you're going to need an accurate throw to set up a birdie opportunity. This is probably my favorite hole among the 36 holes at this park. The 18th and final hole on the Lakefront Course is another long and tight hole. It plays up what appears to be an old railroad grade. There are two baskets on this hole. The short basket is right in the middle of the railroad grade, and we're going to see it just past these rocks here. The long basket is actually off to the right of the railroad grade, and it's going to take a couple of good, accurate, and long throws to get anywhere close to the long basket. Since this is the last hole, I do want to thank you for watching this video. Parking full-time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. I like both of the courses at this park. Overall, I probably like the Cliffside course a little bit better. I feel it's a little more balanced. It doesn't have the really good holes and the not so great holes that this course has. I also want to remind you that I don't make any monetary compensation for anything I do for this project, and therefore all I get for doing these videos and writing these disc golf reviews are your likes, your subscribes, your views, and your comments, and I do appreciate all of those things. That is the end of the course. Have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.